Labour Party on Sunday welcomed the offer by the new Nigeria's People's Party presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, to be running mate to Labour Party's Peter Obi in the 2027 presidential election. Kwankwaso, in a recent viral post, indicated his willingness to serve as running mate to the former Labour Party presidential flag bearer barely 2 years after talks between both parties went south. It has been reported that the Labour Party and the NNPP had considered a merger ahead of the 2023 general elections, but the inability of either Obi or Kwankwaso to concede the leadership collapsed the heightened move. The former governor of Kano State, who spoke in Hausa, expressed his readiness via a circulated video on his official account, provided certain conditions are met. Kwankwaso, who acknowledged his rising political profile, stated, "I am bigger than Peter Obi politically. I'm his elder brother. I'm a PhD holder. I performed better than him when I was the governor of my state. I have no problem with deputizing for Peter Obi, but only if certain conditions are met." He further expressed the possibility of engaging in meaningful discussions with Obi, noting, "We are willing to engage in discussions provided that trust is established." In the last elections, Peter Obi of the Labour Party emerged third position, securing approximately 6,101,000 votes, 553 votes, while Kwankwaso garnered 1,496,687 votes to emerge a distant fourth position. Reacting in an exclusive interview, the National Secretary of Labour Party, Omar Farouk, told press that the renewed move by Kwankwaso was a welcome development. He also appealed to the former Kano governor not to kill the merger talk again with his insinuation of being a better politician and holding a higher education degree. He said, "As a political party, we stand for good governance, and we have equally given all our candidates, both former and serving ones, the opportunity to choose how to associate with people of like minds who share the philosophy and ideology of the Labour Party. We are happy Kwankwaso has alighted from the high horse he was riding and willing to offer himself to Obi as deputy, having seen he garnered more than 6 million votes at the 2023 election. With his so-called popularity in the north, Kwankwaso could only amass less than 2 million votes. Again, he should stop this talk of being a bigger politician and PhD holder. What did he even do as a Minister of Defense? This is why we advise politicians to always consider the dynamics of politics to gauge the temperament of the electorate at a particular time. Of course, we know what played out in 2023 will be different from 2027. It will be in the interest of Nigerians if Obi and Kwankwaso are willing to come together and wrest power from the APC government. But again, we know that the sitting government will not go to sleep and allow the renewed move to work. What do you have to say to this story, Ndamze?
It is an interesting story, considering how the major talk collapsed
last time.
The last time. Kwankwaso, like Farouk said, climbing down from his high horse to accept to deputize Obi is a welcome one. But my view is that with all that happening, nothing will still change in 2027. Unless, I keep saying it, institutions are broken down. There is high-level corruption in the judiciary. The electoral umpire is not independent. They still have the control of the presidency. The electoral laws are still what it is. And the section of the Constitution that mandates INEC to either transmit or to declare manually, it's still there. So unless all these issues are resolved ahead of time, then Nigerians can say the merger between Obi and Kwankwaso will produce results. Otherwise, they will still end up as dramatic personages, you know, contesting election, post-election matter happening, went to court. Some may even go ahead in getting documents from outside jurisdiction and all that. Tendering the documents become a problem. So you see, Laurentia, our country is really dying by the day, and it is no longer funny. It is no longer funny what is happening. No sector is working well. The corruption is becoming so endemic. People are not even trusting the electoral processes anymore. Look at Edo election. Edo election is a case study that, in my opinion, there were voter apathy in Edo because if you look at the voting strength of Edo State and the strength of results we saw, that shows that over 60-something% of Edo citizens didn't participate in that election. So the electoral processes is so bad, so corrupt, and the government should stop using inept people. People who do not have capacity to man some of these things are in the helm of affairs. So it's high time Nigeria, beginning with the National Assembly, we rejig the institutions. We look at people manning these institutions. Are they truly credible Nigerians who want a better society? Or these are people who just want to amass wealth for themselves and their generations yet unborn? So these are pertinent questions that before we make judgment, before we hail the merger, we should be able to say, what are the roles they are playing to make sure that these institutions are strengthened? The Independent National Electoral Commission, is the commission truly independent? It's high time they strip politicians powers to appoint people who are not even qualified to man the various resident electoral commissioners. I mean, it's crazy what happens in our country. We pray for Nigeria every day, just like in my church, we prayed for Nigeria yesterday.
Interesting. But there is still building on the, talking about the Kwankwaso Obi prospective merger. Now Obi Kwankwaso prides himself as being in control of NNPP, particularly in Kano State. And, you know, Kano State has the highest voter strength in Nigeria because of their population. But in recent times, you know, NNPP has suffered severe defection of its members to APC. I mean, when you look at different defections at different times recently, close to 1 million members have defected. That's a huge blow to NNPP. So is it safe to say that in Kano State right now, NNPP's popularity is fast dwindling to the favor of the APC in Kano State? And in light of these developments, can Kwankwaso say by 2027 he will still have the same level of influence he had in Kano State? Will he be able to get up to 1 million votes, considering what is going on right now in Kano State?
Yes, Laurentia, I can tell you vividly, during my law school days, I was in Kano, and the local government Kwankwaso hails from was the local government the law school is cited. Bagauda. Bagauda is in a local government they call Bebeji, okay, in Kano. And this is the same local government that Dangote hails from. And it is same local government that the former deputy governor hails from. So that local government is so populated. They have powerful men in Kano. And I can assure you that the Kwankwasia movement is not just a joke in Kano. It is truly a movement.
Okay.
A movement. It's the Kwankwasia movement in Kano. When I was in Kano, I saw it as a movement that cut across all political divide. You see people in other political parties appreciating the man Kwankwaso, because Kwankwaso really gave Kanu a facelift. All the huge bridges, flyovers, and all that, Jinjalting road projects, farms, and all that were, executed during the time of Kwankwaso. And the Kanu residents, the Kanu citizens, believe so much in Kwankwaso. So, voting Kwankwaso in Kanu wouldn't just be...
It's not going to be a function of the political
at
party.
all. It's not going to be limited to political party, because the name Kwankwaso is loved in Kanu, and Kwankwasia movement in Kanu is truly a movement. All
right, so you see, but then, does it also spread across the other northern states, that level of influence, or is it just in Kanu state? Yes,
I know. Nigerian politics is very deep. Deeper than how we look at it in the surface. Kwankwaso is a good man. He has good reputation in the north. But the question is, what would the northern oligarchy want in 2027? Would the northern oligarchy prefer Obi Kwankwaso ticket, or would they want to retain Tinubu Shetima ticket? This is a pertinent question that the north itself should answer. This is a region that controls 19 states in the north. In the House of Reps alone, they have 400. In Nigeria alone, as a nation, we have 774 local government, and the north itself controls 439 LGAs in Nigeria. So you see, the northern part of the country have a major voice in determining who becomes the president of Nigeria at any time. So, and I see it also as a very big, unfair move made by the British against the South. How would a particular region is having over 439, and the whole remaining part of the country sharing the remaining is crazy. So the northern Nigeria really have a role to play here, and I know that Kwankwaso is somebody who is respected in the north, but the question still remains: what does the oligarchy want?
Interesting question.
Will they support Tinubu Shetima ticket 2027, or will they toe towards Obi Kwankwaso ticket?
All right, interesting times ahead, and probably time will tell. If this major talks actually materializes and is consolidated, then probably the reactions coming from different political quarters will now give us a foretaste of what might happen.
This is also a time that Nigerians should lend a voice to the ongoing constitutional review. They should lend a voice. Nigerians should be able to shout about the Electoral Act. The Electoral Act, in my opinion, in my view as a lawyer, is just a sham. It's just a document, to portray that we want to do something right. But deep down the document, there are lacunas, intended lacunas, to serve those in power.
All right.